Hey guys, Taylor here. Today I have a haul for you, which is surprising because it's literally been 9 months or so since I did my last haul video. So it was like September around my birthday time when I did it. So it's been a while since I've collectively bought myself some books, so I'm very excited to be showing you what I bought during the months of June and July, and I was sent one of these books too, so thank you so much to Charles for that. But without further ado, I'm just gonna get started because I'm super excited to be doing a haul video again. The very first book I feel like was on a lot of people's list to buy, and that is, of course, the 20th anniversary edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And I'm a Hufflepuff, if you didn't know, which is why I got the Hufflepuff edition. But they are just so beautiful. And if you're a Harry Potter lover, how could you not want one of these books? I mean, I want to get the paperback as well because that one is just as great as the hardback, but they're just so pretty, and you gotta get it if you're, into Harry Potter as much as we are. I mean, it's a given. Next up is the book that I was sent by Charles, so thank you so very much for sending me your book. I cannot wait to read it and review it on my channel, and it is Corsana. First of all, I absolutely adored and loved the cover of it, and then the book itself sounded super interesting, so I was like, yeah, I'm on board to read that, and I still can't get over the cover. I think it's so cool and unique, and you gravitate towards it, and the story's so interesting. The main character, CK, is a psionic, which means that he can will things to happen with the power of his mind, and some other really cool stuff happens, and it just sounds very interesting, and I cannot wait to read and get into this book and let you guys know what I think about it. Then I got Killer Instincts by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the second book in the Naturals series. I talked about the Naturals in my wrap-up. I absolutely love it. If you're a fan of Criminal Minds, you definitely would love this series. It has all that feel to it, and it's just really awesome. It was one of my first 5-star ratings in a long time, so of course I had to pick up the rest of the books. The other ones are coming in, so I had this one first because I wanted to get in and read it as soon as I could, and then buy the next ones and read those ones as well because I'm a super huge fan of Criminal Minds, and this just was not a letdown whatsoever, and it made me crave reading the rest of it so much. Then I picked up My Lady Jane by 3 different authors. You have Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. And it is a twist on historical fiction of Jane Grey, which is super cool. I love reading people's twists and turns on historical fiction, and I've gotten really into it recently after watching like Reign and The Tudors on Netflix and like a bunch of those shows. I just am so into it now, and The Crown on Netflix, just all of those shows I'm gravitating towards. So of course, books, I am gravitating towards them as well, which you'll probably see more in this haul. But it is just super interesting. There's some romance there. It's very comical at times, and there's just so many good things about this book. I can't get over it and like say enough good things about it. It's just really good, and the hype is for sure, positive and in a good way too, because it's just that good. So basically, Jane is caught up in this like huge twisted plot that she knows nothing of to rob her cousin King Edward of his throne, which means then she would be put on the throne herself and the next Queen of England. So that's a lot to take in, and there's just so many other things about this book other than just that twisted plot, and it's just so good. I then got And I Darken by Kiersten White, which I have read 2 of her other books and really enjoyed those as well. And how beautiful is this cover? I mean, I know the second one has just as a beautiful cover as this one does, and I will definitely be picking that one up too because I read this one during the month of June, like right when I got it as well. But it follows a Princess Lada and her younger brother Radu. I hope that's how you pronounce those names, I'm not too sure. But they are basically sacrificed up from their father to be raised in the Ottoman court, which is actually the enemy to their own people. So that's super crazy. And there's so many twisted plots and different things about this book that make it so good. And at times I did have mixed feelings about it, but I loved it enough to continue on and pick up the second book and read that one. I haven't read it yet, but it made me want to continue on, which is always nice. I didn't want to stop after this one, especially with what happens at the end. It made you want to continue. So I think it's super interesting, and I really enjoyed this one. I mean, how awesome is this cover? But it's so good. And the characters themselves are so in-depth, and you really are attached to them, which is awesome, and I love that in books. So there's this one. So like I said, I love and I'm obsessed with a show called Reign on Netflix, and it's on CW actually, but I watched most of it on Netflix. And because it's ended now, and I'm super sad about that, I decided to look up books that were similar to Reign to kind of help me cope with the fact that it's over now. And that is why I picked up The Wild Queen, The Days and Nights of Mary, Queen of Scots by Carolyn Meyer. And it's basically about Queen Mary of Scots, her childhood, you know, her middle age, and her being older in dealing with being the Queen of Scotland and everything about Mary. And I can't wait to get into this and go back into the world of her life and King Francis and like just everything that I loved about Reign. I just can't wait to read about it in this book and continue on with my obsession of Reign and Queen Mary. Next, I picked up Ruined by Amy Tintera, and I'm on this one now. I'm only like 10 pages into it, but I can't wait to read more. Our main character, Em, has basically lost everything in her life, so she sets out on this dangerous journey to go rescue her sister from a mad king, and some stuff goes down, of course it does, and that's basically what I can tell you so far from the book. And yeah, she lacks the power of her fellow Ruined, which is another thing that's against her. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what happens and to see her mission through. Then I got Long May She Reign by Rhianna Thomas. I hope that's how you say it. The cover's so cool. A lot of the next ones were like cover buys to say, and also along with the whole like kingdom, queens and kings thing. Like I said, Reign is still in my mind, so like anything that deals with royalty or anything, I was like buying. But the main character, Freya, was 23rd in line to the throne. That is until a poisonous feast happens that basically takes everyone out before her, so now she ends up being the next in line, which she never in her life thought that she would be. So now she tries to find out what exactly happened at the feast and uncover all the murders without putting herself in danger and just making sure she stays alive too. So I was really interested in the sounding of all of that, and that's why I picked it up. I ended up then getting Winter Song by S.J. Jones, which I guess is a Labyrinth-inspired book. I've never watched The Labyrinth. It was a cover by, I hate to say it, but I just love the colors of it, and it reminded me of Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if Labyrinth is like Beauty and the Beast or not, but I just loved it, and I had to pick it up, and hopefully it's good. Let me know if you've read this book and really enjoy it, and if you watch The Labyrinth and you suggest watching that. But yeah, I don't really know much about it except that I've heard that it's just Labyrinth inspired. Here comes another cover by. It is The Traitor's Kiss by Erin Beatty. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. But I have heard that it has a really awesome main character. There's espionage and lies and romance. So hopefully it's good. Again, it was a cover by, I'm sorry, but it just, hopefully it lives up to the cover, because I love the cover of it. Then I got Paper Princess by Aaron Watt, and the main character, Ala, is brought out of poverty into the Royals family, where basically none of the sons want her there, so I'm not sure why they took her out, and they want to send her back to wherever she came from because none of them like her. So I'm interested to see how this turns out, and I'm assuming one of the boys probably likes her, but you never know. So we'll see how it turns out for Ella. I hope it turns out good, because so far it's not sounding too good. Then I got The Crowns Game by Evelyn Skye, and this sounded super interesting to me. A little bit harsh at times, but super interesting. There are 2 enchanters in Russia, and basically this guy, Tassar, needs a very powerful enchanter by his side to face their enemy, so he holds a Crowns Game, which basically pins both of the enchanters against each other, and whoever wins becomes the Imperial Enchanter. Whoever loses is sentenced to death. I don't know why he just didn't have both of them be at his side, but there might be more to it, so I don't really understand why he wouldn't just have both of them instead of killing off one and keeping the other one. Who knows, but I'm interested to see how the Crowns Game goes and all of the stuff that goes along with it and who wins and what happens at the end. I'm pretty sure there's more books in this series, so Hopefully I like it enough so I can continue on with the rest of it. And the last book that I got of this haul was The Jewel by Amy Ewing. And I basically heard if you are a huge fan of the Selection series that you would probably enjoy this. So I love the Selection series, which is why I picked up the first book in this. I feel like they're comparing it, it's like the light and fluffy read that you don't have to expect much from. I don't know if it's exactly like that. Until I read it, I'll know. But anything that says if you like the Selection, you like this, I will hop on it because, like I said, I love the Selection. But the main character, Violet, gets auctioned to the Royals family and quickly learns the ugly truth behind what it means to actually be a jewel. So I was very intrigued and want to know what exactly it means to be a jewel and why it's so bad. So that is it for this haul. I hope that you enjoyed it. And thank you so much for checking out my channel and watching my video. And I will see you guys in my next one. Have a good day. Bye.